facing head-on the emotions beneath the surface as we bridge from an old world of confusion and lack to a beautiful new world of freedom, abundance, and love with straightforward truth and inspired hope is what you'll find on the Charla Anderson Show. Collector and connector of fascinating people. And everyone is fascinating. Here's your host, Charla Anderson.
Well, welcome, you beautiful day to you wonderful, beautiful souls out there. Welcome to the Charla Anderson Show, collector and connector of fascinating people, and everyone is fascinating. I'm so excited. Today is International Women's Day, and it's March 8th, 2023, and our team, Paula Fellingham, the founder of Win Win Women, is actually in India with a team, and they are just celebrating global women leadership, love around the world with this Win Win Women International Women's Day.org if you want to find out about that. I'm so happy that you're here. I'm always tremendously honored that you have joined me, that you take the time out of your busy time and your busy schedule to join me and be a part of this movement that is Charla Anderson Show. Who knew? A month ago, 2 months ago, I had no idea. And here we are on this journey. It's exciting, it's fun, and it's a learning curve for sure. So I want to start my shows most of the time. I'll probably do this with a little tiny 22-second breathing exercise. It helps settle me, and I'm sure it will help settle you as well. And so what we're going to do is breathe in 7 seconds, hold for 4, breathe out 11 seconds. We're going to breathe in calm for 7 seconds and breathe out gratitude for 11 seconds. So will you join me with that, please? Okay, breathe in calm. Hold. Breathe out gratitude, release. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's grounding, it's centering, and it's a mini meditation that we can do anytime in our lives. So we can do this. Even driving, if you keep your eyes open, it's just anytime that you feel a little unsettled, it's a really great calming exercise to ground you. So today is kind of unique. I'll just say back in 2017, so much happened. So many changes happened in my world, including from moving to being robbed at gunpoint to living upstairs with my ex-husband and amid all kinds of boxes and things like that. I actually completed and self-published a tiny book called Candy Bar Hugs. Candy Bar Hugs is a very tiny book with a big message. Candy Bar Hugs, it doesn't take much to make a difference. It's available on Amazon. Literally the audiobook is 25 minutes. And so my little joke, if you're a guy, just put it in the bathroom. It's a 25-minute read. All the women laugh and the men go, what? It's fun to have fun, right? So anyway, it's a little joke there that I've said all these years of this tiny book being out, and I've never marketed it, but I'm extremely excited that on this 5th anniversary year that we're actually relaunching it in hardback with Beyond Publishing this spring. So keep your eyes out for that. And today, what I'm going to do is actually read it aloud. It's a small book. It'll take probably 30 minutes or so to do that. I'm just going to read it. And for the sake of learning, I'm going to also read the back cover so you'll have a foundation for it. Doesn't take long, but something I'm going to try. I'm not, the techie part is new. So I'm going to try to figure out how to at the end of this, have a real conversation a live conversation. And if you would like, during this whole time, you're welcome to put comments in the chat or even in the Facebook posting that I did. And I'll read every one of them. But at the end, if I can make it work, we'll have a live conversation if anyone chooses to stay and have a little talk there. And it'll just be 5 or 10 minutes and we'll just see how it goes. So here we go. Candy bar hugs. It doesn't take much to make a difference, by yours truly. So the back cover. What's your favorite candy bar? That's the question I occasionally begin asking the checkout clerk when I went grocery shopping. Then, may I give you a hug? The varied responses and stories I received are what initiated this book. What if we pay it forward to those behind the cash register, blessing the person in front of you, not necessarily the ones buying gourmet coffee behind you, and loving the next person we meet and giving them a kind word, a smile, a nice touch on the shoulder, or even a hug, we begin brightening the energy around us. It truly doesn't take much to make a difference. You may not be able to change the world, but you can change your world today. What if all it takes is candy bar hugs? The dedication. Austin, Tyler, and Alyssa, and their guardian angel, my Valentine, Sarah, to my beautiful, gifted, and unique children, Austin, Tyler, and Alyssa. I wrote this at one time for you, and I have since realized that it is a universal sentiment with a profoundly deeper meaning than meets the eye. This is my forgiveness release. I did what I did. I didn't do what I didn't do. I did all that I knew to do with what I knew at the time, just like you did and are doing in your lives right now. I love you. You're the lights of my life, the miracles for my hopes, the inspiration for my dreams. I love you forever, Mom. Acknowledgements. Because we are all connected, and I'm committed to maintaining respect and cordiality for everyone, and I don't burn bridges. I choose to honor and acknowledge my first husband, the father of my children, Dusty Wolf, for our time together and his generous contribution to my life. I also have the highest regard and respect for my former husband, Ed Arnold. I enjoy friendship with both of my exes. They are remarkable people, and I'm eternally grateful to them. Special thanks to Michelle Prince in her book-bound workshop. I want to be like her when I grow up. To Benson Agbatorgo, a highly effective business coach whose success secret is keeping God as his business partner and boss. To the entire Ziglar family, including the Ziglar Legacy Certified Alumni. To my beautiful niece, Emily Hooks, with the Power of Forgiveness book and the Forgiveness Academy workshops, which are so powerfully transformational. To the landmark forum where the defining moment of my life from bitterness to joy was possible. To Mark and Tracy Jarvis of Zervita, my bold faith mentors. And to my family, friends, and Facebook community who inspire me daily. Introduction. What's your favorite candy bar? That's a question I occasionally began asking the checkout clerks when I went grocery shopping. And then, may I give you a hug? In 2014, there was a trend in the news about people paying for the order for the folks behind them in the big bucks line. And it occurred to me that those truly needing a blessing and a gift are the ones behind the cash register, the minimum wage earner, the person right in front of you, not so much the ones buying gourmet coffee. Can you imagine how many people are starving for acknowledgement, for validation, for touch? We are so connected with our techie devices and increasingly unconnected to the physical world. We're always searching for our purpose. What if your purpose is evidenced by how you treat every single human being right in front of you? What if there is no need to search? What if you could just be your purpose in every moment? It is your character. It is your values. It is your integrity. It is your words that you speak. Your purpose is who you are. In loving the next person we meet and giving them a kind word, a smile, a nice touch on the shoulder, or even a hug, we begin shifting the energy around us. The environment lightens up. It truly doesn't take much to make a difference when we finally realize that the way we treat each other is a mirror of the way we see ourselves. And then that unconditional love without judgment is truly the only way to improve our world, and that it must start within each of us. We become instruments of transformation. As I begin offering a candy bar to cashiers and offering a hug with no agenda, some stories began to show up. The brief moment of that special connection truly touched some of the recipients, and in turn, it touched me, and perhaps those around us who are witnesses. There were some magical moments, some tears, and sadly, some who weren't even able to receive. This small book is an attempt to briefly tell some of those stories and share how little it can sometimes take to impact another's soul. I hope to also offer some insights on how you can be the encourager to those you meet. Remember, encouragers, those who are always giving, need encouragement too. You may not be able to change the world, but you can change your world, which changes the world today. What if all it takes is candy bar hugs? Chapter 1, Tom Ziglar's best travel year ever. One of my most impactful decisions for this self-improvement junkie was to become one of the first 100 Ziglar Legacy Certified Trainers in November of 2014. I had gotten to know Tom, Julie, and Cindy Ziglar, along with the late Zig Ziglar, while attending their ongoing Monday morning devotionals occasionally since 2008. That 1 week training of becoming part of the family of Ziglars as a ZLCer is my most treasured credential. The final day in class, I mentioned about how little it can take to make a big difference, about how a little acknowledgement and appreciation can go a long way. I told some candy bar stories and then mentioned that as a flight attendant, which was my 34-year career, when someone would bring a treat for the crew, we would take extra care and attention towards them. Sometimes a free drink, a better seat, etc. It wouldn't take much. Maybe a box of candy or a small token, but just some little gift, but it always had an effect on us. Tom decided to blog about his best travel year ever, sharing what happened when a small gift was offered as he boarded the plane. His gift for each crew member, including the pilots, was Zig Ziglar's little book of big quotes with his business card attached, along with a $5 Starbucks gift card. Now, to a crew member, that is a really nice gift. While he did it without any expectations, Tom received all kinds of reactions, ranging from a simple thank you to being acknowledged over the PA. From a plane full of applause to being upgraded to first class on international flights. Read Tom's blog about his best travel year ever in 2015. Let your light shine. And remember, it doesn't take much to make a difference. In Tom's own words, amazing how a simple, intentional act of appreciation and kindness can change the entire atmosphere. Thank you, Charla, for giving me the idea that gave me the best travel year ever. Chapter 2, Candy Bar Stories. A, Target. As I mentioned in the introduction, I began asking the cashiers as I checked out at the grocery store, Walmart, Target, etc., what their favorite candy bar was, and then buying it for them, making certain there was a witness or a receipt for their safety. One of the most memorable experiences was the night before my Yes conference in 2015 when my friend Mary Beth and I ran to Target. When I offered the cashier her favorite candy bar, she said, "That's the nicest thing anyone has ever done for me." Really? Giving her a candy bar was the nicest thing anyone has ever done for her? Then I asked, "May I give you a hug?" She broke down and said, "You have no idea. I just found out that my mom is terminal today." Wow. We just blessed her, hugged her, and shifted her world that night with empathy. It doesn't take much to make a difference. B, Walmart. Since I'm not much of a shopper at all, these stories are relatively few and far between. It had been a while since I'd been to Walmart. What are the odds of getting the same cashier twice? As I was checking out and asked about her favorite candy bar, she said, "No, thank you. I don't want a candy bar, but I will take the hug." She remembered me. Things that touch the heart will linger forever. It doesn't take much to make a difference. C, Dollar Tree. I walked into a new Dollar Tree and was met by such a vibrant and friendly greeting by the cashier, so I began bantering with her. I found out that Vicky was in school getting her degree, was interested in personal development, and was enduring some challenging circumstances. She asked what I did, and I responded that I was a Ziglar Legacy Certified Trainer and encouragement coach, among other things. We laughed, exchanged numbers, and have kept in touch. I don't even think a candy bar was involved here. Everyone needs friends. Everyone needs encouragement. Everyone needs laughter. Since that time, with some friendly coaching, the life and legacy of Vicky and her family has forever changed. It doesn't take much to make a difference. In Vicky's own words, "I love my job. To me, if you come into my store and I have an opportunity to make you smile, then I have done my job. Compassion comes from the heart, and I feel blessed when I get hugs from my customers. I'm a grandmother of 4, and I'm constantly motivated to get my next degree. I'm currently working on my bachelor's degree for business management. I'm often getting gifts and hugs at my store. My philosophy is when you come into my store, you're with family." Vicky is making a difference because she not only loves her customer, she loves life. D, Aldi. Recently, I ran into the awesome grocery store that I first discovered in Germany many years ago called Aldi. I happened to be wearing my ZLC name tag, and the cashier, Rhonda, asked me what I did. The line was long with no time to offer a candy bar, and I briefly told her that I was an encouragement coach. She said she really needed to talk to me. She had lost her 4-year-old child. I gave her my card and gave her a hug. She found me on Facebook, and I intend to continue reaching out to her, encouraging her, and sharing that her past doesn't define her future. When I set my intention daily to let my light shine on every person I encounter, beautiful responses are the norm in my life. Everyone has a story. Everyone needs someone to listen, to really hear what they are saying and what they often have no words to say. I know I do. It doesn't take much to make a difference. In Rhonda's own words, "While I was at work that afternoon, I met Charla when she came through my line to check out. In an instant, I looked into her eyes and I knew she could see into my soul. We started talking, and she had such a warm nature to her, meaning I felt like I'd known her for a very long time. For some reason, and I don't know why, I opened up to her about my little girl who passed away tragically, and I asked her for her card in hopes that she could help me overcome a lot of insecurities and hurt that I bore. She gave me the card, and I was excited because I knew our meeting was divine appointment from God. Since then, I have been promoted at work. I'm always so extremely tired, but I certainly want to reach out to Charla and spend some time with her. I will never forget the hug I received from her that day. I felt at peace. I felt loved, and I truly felt it was God hugging me. He was using Charla to hug me. Was it a chance meeting? I think not. I believe God works through people to reach out to others, and I believe this happened that the day I met Charla. Thank you, Charla. Rhonda is making a big difference in her family, with her customers, and her positive posts. It's a blessing to have met her. E, parking lot with Janet. I noticed a really sharp looking lady a few cars down in the parking lot of a strip center. As I drove by, top down on my car, I called out with a smile, "You look so funky." She said, "I look funny." I said, "No, fun and funky." Janet and I ended up chatting for a few minutes, and she confessed she was feeling depressed and not good about herself. She had recently moved to Fort Worth and didn't know many people. We had some conversations, and she recommended a place to get my hair cut. We lost touch since she moved away from my area, and this book has led me to try and reconnect with her. A simple compliment brightened her day and encouraged her. It doesn't take much to make a difference. F, a giver can't give if a receiver won't receive. Occasionally, I offer the gift of a candy bar, and the response is cold and distant, and they refuse it. Perhaps they don't want a candy bar, or perhaps they don't know how to receive. Perhaps they don't feel worthy. Perhaps their skepticism and cynicism are on high alert. They've been taken advantage of too many times. That's the saddest thing to me. So many people truly have so little self-worth that they don't feel deserving of a small gift. I offer them a warm smile and blessings and pray that they may feel the unconditional love I'm offering them. Everyone deserves unconditional love, and yet they must love themselves in order to receive it. It doesn't take much to make a difference. G, no hidden agenda. I was with a marketing-minded friend when I offered a candy bar and a hug. He then wanted me to give her my business card and offer some solutions for opportunities to improve her life, which I love to do. It occurred to me that the rarity of receiving anything with no strings attached, no hidden agenda, no sales pitch to follow, nothing expected in return is almost non-existent. I have absolutely zero agenda with my candy bar offer other than putting a smile in a person's heart, a moment of true connection, and a bit of human touch with a hug. It doesn't take much to make a difference. And I'll add here that as a senior silver-haired lady, it will rarely be offensive to anyone for me to offer a hug. It takes discernment for your situation and for your personality. Hopefully, it goes without saying that a hug may not be appropriate in our current society from a gentleman to a young lady. It may be more acceptable just to smile and warmly say, "May you be blessed," as Matt Kahn suggests is appropriate in all situations. H, the harder they are to love, the more they need it. Have you ever experienced someone who is just plain hard to be with, hard to please, hard to communicate with? Maybe the person is a contrarian or has oppositional defiance disorder. And no matter what you say, they take the opposite stance. They're always defensive and they're hard to like, much less love. Love them anyway. Love and forgiveness only require your giving, not their deserving. Love as God loves, without judgment, without strings, without conditions, unconditionally. God loves the soul and the spirit of every human being. If we were them, we'd be doing exactly what they are doing, right? We cannot know the truth of why they are as they are. What if we just send love, compassion, and empathy to everyone, regardless of who they are and what they do? What a wonderful world this would be. Bonus, there is complete freedom and peace when we release all judgments. Hint, it begins with gratitude. In everything, give thanks. And the tricky part, you must love and forgive yourself. Unconditional love, unconditional forgiveness, not unconditional boundaries. I would never suggest to stay in a destructive, abusive, or demeaning situation at all. No, this is about standing in your own power, to not take anything personally, because it's not about you. What someone else says or does has almost nothing to do with you, and it comes only from where they have come from. The book I've recommended most is The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. This challenging perspective is clearly explained and well worth the quick read. There's an asterisk here. I offer an exercise about the forgiveness response that will help you. It's very brief, very simple, and very effective. And please reach out to me if that would be helpful to you. I speak into the lives of others. At a recent conference for my health and wellness product of choice, Zeal for Life, the extraordinarily humble founders, Mark and Tracy Jarvis, continue to raise the bar on making a huge difference in the lives of others. With the word they received from God, they've built a company that honors God with every corporate decision Number 2, creates humble leaders and no one gets greedy at the top. And number 3, everyone wins at every level. With bold faith, they walked away from $1 million a year income to create the company called Zervita, which means the risen life in Latin. I met them in 2008 as they began this journey, and I've been loyal ever since. They are the very last ones to leave any meeting, staying late to talk with and pray over every last person who stays. And how many CEOs do that? They speak into the lives of the leaders and the field of affiliates and the customers and the community with their V500 outreach. Much of my bold faith belief has come directly from their example and from them speaking and praying into my life. Acknowledgement is one of the simplest forms of lifting someone up, and it is desperately lacking in our world. Mark and Tracy are masters at encouragement. They are my heroes. They are masters at making a difference. Jay, I am fabulous, and it's a choice, right? My standard answer when someone asks a common question, how are you, is usually, I'm fabulous, and it's a choice, right? Kind of along with a laugh, and it seems to brighten the area and gets all kinds of responses. I often will follow up with, where we are is all we have, only place we have to start from. So think about it. Can we change even one single thing from last second to last decade to past generations? Nope. Everything since creation has orchestrated to bring you to this exact moment in time, listening to this sentence right now, and no amount of wishful thinking or dwelling on the past will change it. Nope, nothing. The only thing you can control is the next second. If you don't like where you are, take a different step, say a different word, honor that word as your integrity. And when you mess up, we do, apologize and make a new agreement. Then honor your word. Take the past out of your future and invent unlimited possibilities. This is chapter 3, the stove repair guy. Here's a story about a repair guy that came to fix my stove. As I was engaging with him, he became animated and agitated about all the things he sees on TV, the government, politics, the police, and all the craziness. Whoa, he was a nice but angry man. Along the way, he said he has no friends, he lives in a single trailer, and he is a loner and a recluse. And he did mention that he had 2 friends, but they were involved with a con artist, and he would never be taken advantage of again. His solution was to stay closed in and yell at a television. I asked him, what if you send them love? He gave me a shocked look and said, what? I said, really? How's it working for you to be sending hatred and revenge or whatever you're sending, yelling at your opinions on to a TV? Is that giving you peace? I spoke into his life and passionately said, I want to tell you who you are. I want to tell you that you have everything inside of you to be all you are called to be and everything you need to be. You may not be able to change that world, but you can change your world. You can step outside and pick up some trash, take a cup of coffee to a neighbor, start seeing people through the eyes of love. What kind of difference would that make? I said, and here's the forgiveness opportunity. And I spoke my forgiveness release to him. I said, I did what I did. I didn't do what I didn't do. I did all that I knew to do with what I knew at the time, just like you did and are doing in your life right now. I love you. What if we could just send that message? What if we could just say, I did what I did and I didn't do what I didn't do, just like you, and I'm sending you love. Ultimately, that person you're angry with is just a hurt 5-year-old child who has been unconsciously building walls around their heart from that inevitable moment of hurt that says, I will never let that happen to me again. That's your opportunity to send unconditional love and release it for yourself. My stove repair guy said, "I will never forget you." Then we stepped outside and as he was leaving, and I said, "Do you mind if I give you a hug?" He said, "This is the first hug I've had in over 5 years." Whoa. People are starving for connection. It's our opportunity to touch someone, send some love. You have that capacity to send love regardless of the story of what happened. It's of critical importance for the sake of humanity and for the sake of your peace of mind. Unconditional love, unconditional forgiveness, not unconditional boundaries. The rest of the story. A few months later, my stove caught on fire, and hint, don't store your fire extinguisher behind the stove. I called my stove repair guy and he said, "I was just talking about you. It just doesn't take much to make a difference." Chapter 4 about Charla. Joy is my lifestyle. Wellness is my passion. Encouragement is my gift to you. Follow me as I share my story and life experiences to help you get to the sweet spot of your life. I want you to embrace life and live it to the fullest. I have chosen to lift myself from despair and misery, and I know you can too, if you choose. My purpose is to fill you with the inspiration and motivation that will move you to find the joy you deserve. Until very recently, I lived quietly in Fort Worth, Texas, retired from a 34-year career as a flight attendant. 2 beautiful grandbabies light up my life. I'm a serial entrepreneur and author, speaker, encouragement coach, wellness advocate, traveler, and dabbler in digital currencies. An intriguing opportunity presented itself recently, and I said yes. Within 30 days, I packed up my home of 5 years, stored everything, and took off on a 6-week trek with what I had in my car. I am now virtually home free. The old song lyric, "Freedom is nothing left to lose," is ringing in my ears. I'm starting over at 63 years old with unlimited possibilities ahead. It feels like freedom. I'm learning to put the proverbial oxygen mask on myself first. Finally, becoming Ziglar Legacy Certified has added an extraordinary credential to my extensive life experience, and I'm humbled to be among the first 100 to receive it. My story is still being written and the journey continues. I'm here to make a difference in your life. I'm here to encourage you. I'm here to remind you of who you are, which is perfect exactly as you are. There is nothing you can do to be loved more or less by God. If God is love, he can't be not love. He can be nothing else. Where you are right this moment is all you have. Every second, you make a choice. If you want something different, then make a different choice right now, or now, or now. You get to choose. Choose joy. Choose well. Be blessed. I'm here to listen. Please tell me your story and the stories of how you are making a difference at charlaanderson.com. My 2023 revision. From then to now, wow, what a ride the last 5+ years have been as I completed the manuscript for Candy Bar Hugs in September of 2017. The intriguing possibility that presented itself in Chapter 4 and my subsequent trek launched a journey that is hard to fathom, even though I have lived it. I spent a month house sitting in the beautiful hill country of Texas, finishing my book, and then headed to Tennessee for 2 conferences, hence a 6-week trek living from my car. Before heading back to East Texas to help my friend Carlene build a retreat and healing center, which presented some very unexpected predicaments. I met up with a friend in Memphis at an Airbnb for a Zervita conference. As we were walking up the driveway late at night, we were robbed at gunpoint. My forthcoming book, Outrageously Courageous, Bold Faith, No Fear, Step Towards the Gun, will tell that story in full. I actually stepped towards the gun, held at my head with no fear, saying, "Y'all need love." And they ran. It is a testament to my long-term mantra of who I say I am is bold faith, no fear. Because the young man grabbed my bags with many of my things, including my new computer, makeup, cowboy boots, etc., out of one hand, and all of my friend's things, including her car keys, we faced a lot of inconvenience and challenges. Fortunately, I had a death grip on my purse, keys, and phone in my left hand. That left the final week of my trek as I headed to Nashville for another conference, staying with my sister for a few days, working on insurance claims and trying to communicate with police about finding the attackers, which we didn't. Finally, I headed back to Texas to begin my new life, expecting to live in a small bedroom and help create a dream retreat. While driving, I called the lady I was to rent the room from, and she had changed her mind about me staying there. Well, I was in my loaded car with nowhere to go. I stayed a night or two on Carlene's couch. She was caring for her husband with early onset Alzheimer's disease in her small house. What I ultimately realized is that her engaging me in her dream initiated my move, but in actuality wasn't what I was supposed to be doing. It did, however, motivate me out of my rut and into action. Since I had stored all my belongings upstairs at my ex-husband's house, the house we had raised our kids in, I asked if I could stay there for a while. So full circle, I was now back in my old house. In many ways, it was a win-win for both of us. I ultimately repurchased it back from him after he moved to be with his family. Now, all of that was still into 2017. Somehow, amid all the boxes and changes, I was able to self-publish my little book in December. To this day, I have no idea how it got done. After that, in 2018, I miraculously had my own TV show, The Yes Lady with Charla A, and was very involved in the production of another TV show, America's Real Deal. When I came to the realization towards the end of that year, 2018, that I wasn't inspired to continue my show, but not sure what was next, I ended 2018 house sitting once again over the new year, evaluating my options. Honestly, I kind of took a step back in 2019. Since I never actually marketed my tiny book with a big message and often just offer it as a gift when I felt compelled, basically as my business card, and I had not yet completed my second book, Split Second Transformation, Change Your Words, Change Your Life, 31 Daily Practices. And with many transitions with the houses, my kids, grandkids, and more, many things got put in a holding pattern. Of course, I continued offering candy bars and hugs throughout that time. And then 2020 happened. My mantra from day one of all that confusion was be prepared, not scared. There's so much more going on than meets the eye. Regardless, hugs were not being well received. Elbow bumps just aren't the same. Fortunately, offering candy bars still brought joy. Fast forward, my daughter moved in, bringing lively activity with 2 dogs, a cat, 2 beautiful step grandkids visiting, and preparing for the birth of my granddaughter at the end of 2021. 2022. The delight of my life, holding that precious child at every opportunity and participating in her remarkable growth during an otherwise unsettled year, brings me to the adventurous opportunities in 2023. Now, ending my 6th decade, I am filled with anticipation of my 2 subsequent books being published with Beyond Publishing and the launch of my weekly TV show on winwinwomen.com. My old saying, when intriguing opportunities present themselves and you say yes, things show up. And they do. I am outrageously optimistic that our world will be a much brighter place as we continue to love each other with intentional love, without judgment, with grace, as we take care of each other and our communities, as we do small things that make a big difference to the person in front of us. Maybe all it takes is candy bar hugs. The end. So Candy Bar Hugs is available on Amazon in 3 formats and will be available on Beyond Publishing soon in hardback, as well as I have now submitted the transcript for Split Second Transformation, Change Your Words, Change Your Life, 31 Daily Practices. I'm so thrilled that you joined me here. And this is the Charla Anderson Show, collector and connector of fascinating people. And everyone is fascinating, including you. And I'm here each week, Wednesdays at 1 o'clock Central Time on winwinwomen.tv. So we don't have advertisements. I just will offer a couple of things occasionally that make a difference for me and have made a huge impact in my life. One is Win Win Women. If you have ever thought of or know someone who would like to have their own television program, reach out to me. I have an affiliate link I'd love for you to take a look at. And my Course Platform Academy is where I've built my own website. And I've had a mentor and teacher that I would recommend bar none to anyone. He's over the top, delivers quality, and I own my own website and I know how to work on it. It's certainly evolving, lots of love to do, but I would love to, if you have a need for a new platform, let me know about that as well. And Zurvita, Zurvita, Zeal for Life is my nutrition beverage of choice. I've been taking it since 2011. It's got energy, vitality, and focus, and is only superfoods. Zurvita.com/Charla. I appreciate more than you know your participation here. I cherish your input. I cherish your suggestions. I cherish your kind criticisms. And as I end this, I will say, be blessed and choose joy.
Parting is such sweet sorrow. The Charla Anderson Show, encouraging you to stand strong and courageous with bold faith, no fear, immense hope, kindness, and love, especially towards yourself. Visit charlaanderson.com for replays, blogs, and more on her ever-expanding website, as well as watch her live TV show on winwinwomen.tv, Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And so that we can continue learning together and growing this community of beautiful souls, we invite you to share the Charla Anderson Show with your circle of friends. Until we meet again next week, remember always, choose joy.